How we doing, Fran? Hope you are good. Right, let's get this out to you. Let's see what we've got. I've got quite a few videos to get through. He was on a really good run of form as of last week. Okay, second one much better than the first. Much better than the first. Okay, not bad. So on a couple of those, that the weight of the bar is bullying you over a little bit. Okay, so the start position with that when you drop your hips down, this is good. Now what we need to focus on is making sure that the hips and shoulders, okay, so these two joints here, okay, well, and the knee, you know, if we're going through there, they're basically, so your hips and knees open together, okay, they open at the same time, and then the shoulder joint, okay, should never be tipping in parallel with the hip, okay, and you'll see kind of at that point, okay, because the upper body's been pulled forward. So with that, okay, really fighting to keep the chest up. Okay, so get the bar in nice and close. I want you to think about try to bend the bar around your legs. Okay, so you try to bend it to your right and left around you. Okay, because that's just the weight of the bar kind of bullying that upper back strength a little bit. Okay, like there does come a point, you know, of where there is a point of where you won't be able to resist that, but keeping the shoulders pulled down the whole time, the shoulders depressed, okay, chest up tall, will help with that. Again, because as soon as the hips go up, that's where the it becomes all back, basically, because your knees are no longer, well, they can't do anything, you know, they're way out of the movement by that point. Good. I could see on that one there was a little bit of not sure whether you were at quite a depth yet. Awesome. Beautiful. Really good. Yeah, these kind of reps are going to pay off so much more. So much more, even though they might be at a lighter weight than what you've used before. Awesome. Yeah, nothing in that one. Good. Keeping the butt flat. So on that one, as the bar actually rested on the chest, okay, that what would be your right elbow kicked forward a little bit. Okay, so there's a little bit of a pause in that one. Good. Good. Generally staying pretty tucked in, pretty tight. You're keeping your glutes switched on, which is the key one there. Okay, so this one's titled Pause Bench. I don't feel like that's Pause Bench. Might be Pause Dead. Okay, so we need the bar in closer. Okay, that bar's got to get a little bit closer in towards you. Okay, I know as you bring your shins towards it, you're almost dinking. You know, you're dinking into it a little bit. I generally would like to see the shins a little straighter. Okay, and you just that little bit more upright. Again, it's just going to stop you getting bullied over by the bar quite so much. Decent pause. Again, yeah, bar in closer. Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to, okay, grip strength, okay, I can see there, so multiple times just sort of shaking it off, okay, not happy with the grip itself. Okay, straps on. Get straps on as often as you want, Fran, okay? I got absolutely no problem with anyone using straps for any of their work. I don't want your hamstrings, glutes, low back, quads, getting nerfed because of your grip. Tidy, yeah. A little difficult with the angle to kind of really see what's going on, but generally elbows in alignment with the body. Okay, they're not tucked right back like they used to be. Not bad, good, yeah. Thinking, little toe, big toe and heel, always pushing harder and harder into the floor every time. Can just see a little bit of toe wiggle. Okay, so get that tripod foot. You've got a great base to then drive off of. But from that angle, good. Yeah, I see that about bench being busy, gym being busy. Yeah, every gym I'm at the moment is terribly busy. Beautifully done, Fran. Yeah, really nicely done. You've really kind of stepped back a little bit here. Good. Over the last couple of weeks, you've took a step back. Good self-reflection here. Okay, good. Being honest with the RPE. Okay, first thing is probably could have pushed it. Awesome. No worries. If you undercook it, it's not the end of the world. You go up from there. Fantastic. So much better, Fran. So much better. There's not this just rush to kind of get fucking everything in there, you know, and just fire every muscle you have just poof, all at once. Always driving the knees out. Okay, I hope that video that I sent over by John Paul, I hope that made a little bit of sense as to what's actually going on with the hip structure during knee valgus. It is quite an interesting way of thinking about things. I don't necessarily agree with everything the guy says, but that is one that, to me, I've seen kind of add up. But these are overall adding up. Right. This bad boy. Okay, you've got that tension there. Okay, not and not. Okay, so my take on this. Okay, you know as well as I do that muscles don't knot. They can't knot. It's not, you know, they run in parallel to each other. Now, having a look at this one here. Okay, automatically the first thing that jumps out is bar placement. Okay, there's a little bit of sort of discomfort, a little bit of niggle. Okay, niggle is a better way to describe it. You know, that's causing some discomfort somewhere. To be feeling it there, yeah, it's only going to be the trap. It's going to be nothing to do with the rhomboid. It's going to be nothing to do with any of the deltoids, really, at all. Now, personally, I can only really go off of research, you know, unless I have a real strong anecdotal bias towards something. I've basically got to go off paperwork and smashing, what's known as smashing, so lacrosse balls, foam rollers, all this kind of stuff, are now long proven to not do anything other than give a temporary, temporarily sort of relax the area. So I think the first thing I would look to do is maybe just adjust the bar position ever so slightly higher to take that initial kind of stress off there. I don't feel like you need to stretch it. The fact that, so for example, from me, I'd say my upper back mobility is not bad. And the fact that if I'm holding onto a bar there, the fact that you can even crane your elbows up that high shows that you've got pretty damn good mobility, okay, particularly sort of through, like, you know, T-spine and rear delt, all that kind of area is pretty mobile. The fact that you can even get your elbows up there. And again, I'm not the biggest stretcher in the world. So what I would advise doing is I'm more of a fan of, rather than trying to stretch and smash your way, your way into getting things better. A lot of these things, it sounds very kind of backward, but again, you must see stuff like this all the time. That a lot of stuff will inherently sort itself out. Okay, and everybody that might come and see you as a doctor or something, it's not necessarily everything needs to be chucked at it all at once. Every possible outcome. Okay, something we've all had bad backs, a mild strain here or there. Okay, that will sort itself out, but the key for us is how do we give it time to sort itself out whilst also not putting a break in training at all. So first thing I would look for you to do is, before every training session, getting some face pulls in there. Okay, they can be with a band, can be on the cable machine, and all you would do, okay, hands out in front of you, okay, keeping your knuckles to the ceiling. Okay, so you're not pulling in like this. Okay, you're pulling palms down. Okay, and you are face pulling. Okay, you're pulling the band, you're pulling the cable towards you using basically that scapular retraction. Okay, pull your shoulder blades back. Let this big area here, okay, get warmed up. Okay, I would then look to do some very, very, very light shrugs. Okay, again, that can be done with a band, and I would look to do those in a narrower, not narrow, not hand to hand, narrower high pull. Okay, so that can be with a band as well. You can stand on sort of like a green level band, okay, and pull up. Let the traps elevate, depress, okay, or with light dumbbells or even a kettlebell would be a great one, okay, but hold the horns on the sides. Again, try not to go fist to fist on that one, okay, and again, just raising up and let the shoulders just kind of, let the traps kind of do some work, let the rhomboids get active a little bit, let the T-spine do some movement, okay. That would be my initial with that. We monitor it for another week. Again, if we do need to start looking into it a little bit more, then we can do. I'm just not the biggest fan of banding things and smashing things into oblivion. And people, it's kind of, it's a plaster on something. I was going to say it's a plaster on a broken leg, but I don't even think it's that. I feel like a lot of, again, a lot of this stuff doesn't necessarily need to be tackled head on. It just needs to be managed and let the body kind of do its thing. Okay, so that first pull was a little bit aggressive. A little bit of a yank on the bar. So with these ones, they are a pause deadlift with a tempo descent. So going back to the question that you sent me earlier today, I have absolutely no issue with your breathing technique. I don't mind once you're in a structurally sound position here at the top. Okay, so you've got, so in coach world, that's your tower of power. Okay, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Your tower of power is that overhead position. Okay, you're doing that just without the hands above the head. Up here, where you are in this shot now, you are structurally sound enough that you are basically mechanically very, very strong, and you can take a new breath in if you want to. I have absolutely no issues, Fran, with you stepping back after a couple of reps, okay, and re coming back to the bar, okay. You're doing the Valsalva maneuver. Okay, your blood pressure is going to spike. Okay, you will get that kind of dizziness, and some people get it more than others. But again, I have absolutely no problem with you walking away from the bar. Walking away from the bar, giving yourself a second, okay, and then straight back to it. Okay, it doesn't have to be a set of 4. It can be a 3 and a 1. It can be a 2 and a 2. Okay, as long as the work is being done, it's not like your body is just gonna no. What, 2 by 2, mate? Nah, like, not having it. It's got to be a full set of 4. It's not quite how it works. So I have absolutely no issue, again, with you stepping back, okay, or rebreathing at the top, okay? It's quite a common one for people to do in, any of my strong men, okay, because they're doing a lot of overhead work, particularly on the log, okay, when they're in that overhead position, to rebreathe as they bring the bar back down. Again, it's where it suits them. So a good guy to watch, the expert of retaking a breath at the top is a guy called Luke Richardson, British powerlifting, by far the strongest guy in Britain at the moment, natural natural. And he retakes a breath at the top, and he's fantastic at it. Okay, and you'll just see it's a very purposeful, just like it is in the bottom position. But again, he's an expert at it, so he's a great sort of great person to look at for that. Now, in regards to that psoas major, okay, that kind of anterior hip flexor. So I'm going to ping over a couple of YouTube videos, because I tried to film one yesterday in the gym I'm working at, and it's just like, it's all a bit just shit and grainy, and there's always someone with a YouTube video who explains it in more detail, and I can get it to you today. So things I want to look at is, I think, so when it comes to, this is one that I have personally had, okay, and the best thing that I found was not necessarily to stretch the shit out of the okay, like the front of the hip, okay, because it's clearly being overworked and something isn't doing its work, okay. I'm going to assume your adductors, okay, and the glutes, just as a general sort of ballpark, are not cutting the slack. So what I would look to do, okay, the one stretch that I do find personally helpful for me is something called a couch stretch. Okay, holding that as regularly as you possibly can. Okay, even if you can get into it at home. Okay, it's called a couch stretch because you can do it on the, like, with a couch in front, behind you. I will ping that over. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay, don't overdo that. I would look to do that sort of pre-session. Again, just a 30-second hold a couple of times on each side. Again, until you feel like that, because it's very localized. A couch stretch is, you'll immediately feel it exactly, hopefully, where we're thinking. I would like to do some med ball squeeze glute bridges. So you lay down, you have a small dead ball or med ball or whatever you use. Okay, I personally prefer like the black ones that are full of sand. Okay, I call them a dead ball. Pop that in between your knees. Okay, lay down on the ground, squeezing the absolute crap out of that med ball the whole time, like really, really squeezing it. Okay, after a 15-second squeeze of 10 out of 10, raising your hips up and going into 10 glute bridges whilst trying to keep the ball in between your knees. Okay, that's going to be another one. Again, I think one of the best ones for it, really. Okay, and then the other one is going to be, I can't think of the exact name for it, but you're essentially doing a glute kickback, really. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's seen as a bit of a Gymshark bunny, just kind of sit there, you know what I mean, get the camera halfway up your butt, but it is a good one to kind of get through that hip extension. I will show you, I will try and find a video. Again, it may be a bit of a Gymshark bunny one, but again, they're the ones doing it. Because I don't have a specific name. I just call it a banded glute kickback. So I will find someone it's an on all four banded glute kickback. And again, I just think with the glute kickback and the med ball squeezes, again, it's just going to get the groin, it's going to get the glutes kind of in and around the hips. Okay, most people are worried about just the quads. Okay, a lot of people stretch the quads because of the big meaty thing on the front, and forget about the glutes and then the smaller muscles on the in and outside. Again, never been a fan of foam rolling things to hell. Okay, so just again, I think a tendency with this one is to roll the hell out of your IT band. Please don't. It's just not good. You really should try and avoid that one. So I will get over a couple of resources for you, because I'm aware I've rambled on for 19 minutes. I will get those over to you, Fran. If anything doesn't make sense, let me know and we'll talk about it. All the best.